I'm really excited to make this video. Let's jump in. This is menopause for men specifically. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lucy. I'm 42 years old. I'm originally from the UK, but I live here in Medellin, Colombia. And I have been living my perimenopause best life for the last 8 years and trying all of the protocols. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an expert. I'm a woman that's lived it. And I found a ton of things that work and a ton of things that also I don't use. But today's episode is specifically for men. All of the things that I would recommend to you as a man if you want to show up and you want to do the right thing for your other half or your mother or your sister. At the end of the day, I am very excited that menopause, in particular perimenopause, is now an active discussion. But there's a lot of education that still needs to happen. And this isn't just a woman's problem. This is a relationship problem. This is a work problem. If you know a woman, which you were given birth to by a woman, then this is a problem that you need to learn about. And I love it that you're here with me learning. Thank you for listening. If you like this, please, if you have questions, please drop comments below. This is a safe space. There is no shame. There are no stupid questions. Let's all just learn this stuff together. Let's jump in. I wanted to make this video because what I realized was that if I genuinely want to help women, I also need to help the men that are there supporting those women, whether it's husbands, fathers, partners, friends, whatever it is. Like, I can actually help women by helping you men. That's why we're here today, and I'm going to give you some very, very practical tips and insights onto how you can really show up for that special woman in your life. Listen up, Dad. This was the podcast that my dad needed many, many years ago. He's big into YouTube. It's just a little bit too late for him. Let's first start talking about when you might recognize changes or shifts in your woman's behavior. Perimenopause can actually start in your 30s. I was 35 when I first started experiencing symptoms, didn't have a clue what was going on, and neither did my boyfriend. He just thought that I was being much more moodier than normal. He didn't understand why I was sweating through the bed sheets every night. He didn't understand the anxiety, the depression. The first thing that I'm just going to say to you is, like, let's educate ourselves. That's the point. That's the point of YouTube. That's why we're all here. If you can understand, at least on a basic level, what is happening to a woman, and please browse my other videos, check out my perimenopause symptom sheet, just start learning and just show a little bit of interest. Because I can tell you, as a woman, if a guy has any sense around these things, it's going to be an immediate gold star for that guy. Now, I don't expect him to necessarily understand at a great level, but he should just know the fundamentals of what's shifting and changing with the estrogen in the body. He should know the answers to simple questions like, can a woman still get pregnant in perimenopause? The answer is yes. All of those kind of basic facts. Please, men, if you educate yourselves, I can tell you that will score a massive brownie point with the women in your life. That's the first thing. Let's all learn together. The second thing is, listen. I know that men are not the greatest, and I'm sorry to cast you all into the same boat or the same bucket, but men generally, men and women, very, very different on the whole. So we really love it when you actively listen to us. And by actively listening, that doesn't just mean going. It means, like, actually taking a beat and stopping what else you have going on. No one can multitask. I'm telling you, it's a myth. Just focus on what your woman has to say and listen to her and listen to what she's experiencing. If she's started to feel that there are these symptoms coming on, listen to her. If she wants to go to the doctor to talk about it, go with her. Like, show an active interest and be genuine about that, because we can all tell when we're just getting that. Sure. That's the second thing. The third thing is, it's an important one, all to do with sex and bed and sleep and all of that kind of jazz. Now, sleep becomes really, really important for women as they start to transition and go in through this stage in their lives. And for me, sleep was like a real big problem back in the early days. And I can tell you, I didn't feel sexy waking up in the middle of the night covered in sweat. But once I started to improve and do things which were making me feel better, I was starting to sleep through the night, I started to feel amazing. And I can honestly tell you that when a woman starts to feel like good in her own body, she feels safe in her own body, she feels like she's being listened to and supported, that, my friends, that, my male friends, is very sexy. Something for you to bear in mind is like, let the sleep be sacred. Find ways and means to support her. And then you might just find that actually she is in one of those moments. Maybe you offer to give her a massage before she goes to sleep. That was always like my personal fave. And do it with like genuine meaning, not just because you want to like get laid. But honestly, I would say allow that sleep time to be sacred. Make her feel really supported and safe and listened to, and you will find that she responds to that. Now, obviously, if you try these things, you find them working, please leave comments, help your fellow brothers out there. Now, obviously, this is focused to those in a romantic relationship, but there are things that you can be doing to support any woman in your life, making sure that she feels safe and secure and listened to. Then let's move on to one of my favorites, which is always about understanding what the goals are that anybody has in their lives. It's really helpful. And as somebody that worked in the professional industry and had lots of mentees, I always wanted to know what my goals were, because that meant that I could then really help people meaningfully, supporting them in that direction. What is your woman's goal? What is your mother's goal? What is your sister's goal? Are they training for something? Are they trying to lose weight? Whatever it is, showing some support and learning around that particular goal is just, again, going to win you major brownie points. And it's going to provide value to the woman in your life, because it's going to help her feel supported in moving towards her goals. It's like running a marathon. When you're out there, not that I've run a marathon, but when you're out there and you have all of those people cheering for you, they know what your goal is. Your goal is to get over the finish line. And they know that by showing up and cheering you on, that just helps add some motivation. Even if you're not going to become a weight loss coach or a personal trainer, it's a very practical thing just to know someone's goal and to be there, being their cheerleader, supporting them behind the scenes. I definitely recommend that to you as a tactic as well to help the women in your life. Again, something that's useful, I've spoken about tracking in another video. You can find it in my playlists or in my YouTube page. It's entitled Tracking. It's got something like that in the title. But women track or should be tracking their cycles. Now, men, it is really helpful for you to be in tune with that cycle as well. I'm not going to go into all of the different phases right now, but all I will tell you is that if the differences between how she feels just before her period versus when she's on her period or when she's ovulating, because that still happens, even if you're in perimenopause. Remember, women can still get pregnant in perimenopause. You can then tailor your support, your listening, what you suggest to do, your activities, all of that kind of stuff can be very much tailored around where she's at in her cycle. And I can tell you that a woman is going to absolutely love it if you offer to have a snuggly night in with a hot water bottle when she's on her period, or you suggest taking her out salsa dancing when she's in her ovulation phase. You honestly are going to notice such a big difference in your relationship, because us women, we like the moon, we shift and we shape and we feel different throughout the month. Men, if you know where your woman's at in their cycle, that is really valuable intel for you to tailor how you show up in your relationships. And then finally, why not talk to her about sex? Women's bodies do change during perimenopause and menopause. I spoke about that in my perimenopause symptoms videos, the thing that everyone loves to hear, which is vaginal atrophy and changes in the natural lubrications of the vagina. All of those wonderful things, our bodies change. And the very interesting thing is that also women's sexuality can change. The feelings that they have, the things that they enjoy, what they want to experience, who they're really becoming as a woman, which is something that we just don't talk about. It's really key to having a good, healthy sex life is that you can have those discussions and that you can give her pleasure, you can understand where she's at, and there may become shifts and changes in who she feels like as a woman as well. talk about it. It really bugs me that there's this culture of like, oh, we mustn't talk about sex. We mustn't talk about what we want. And that's like as much from a woman's perspective as it is from a man's. Let's all just be the adults that we are growing into. I know we often still all feel very, very young at heart, but let's have those difficult conversations. And you may well find that as a result, your sex life actually really improves. I think there's a lot of talk out there about how women's libido disappears when they're in perimenopause or menopause. That does not have to be true. For me, it's not true. Let's not become victims to narratives that societies have put out there. That's the same for you guys, for you men, as it is for women as well. Lots of information to take in, but hopefully useful. Quick recap. Please listen to her, validate her, be a good listener, give her the attention that she needs, learn with her, do your own research, find the things that work for you, find the things that work for her. There are lots of us out there educating. Maybe you find somebody that is much more on the science side, or you find someone that's much more on a different angle. It doesn't matter. Find the resources that are going to help, because it helps us all. Allowing that sleep time to be sacred, supporting her goals, knowing where she's at in her cycle, and then lastly, talking about the taboo, talking about sex. Hopefully this was really helpful for you men. If you're a woman watching this and you think it would be helpful for your man to hear, please share the link with him. Like the video, dislike the video. Just give me some kind of vital signs that you're all out there. And if you want to hear more from me and this is useful, please hit the subscribe button and I'll be showing up in a feed somewhere near you soon. Thank you so much for listening today, men and women. We're all in this together. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the internet somewhere soon. Bye.